This is Sarah Felber from University of Maryland University College, and with the assistance of Ryan Felber, I'll be describing the Chief Engineers Mail Group, a community of practice for chief engineers at the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. The Department of Veterans Affairs operates 144 hospitals across the United States. These hospitals are affiliated with 1,221 outpatient sites. Each hospital, with its affiliated sites, has an engineering department headed by a chief engineer or a facility manager. The engineering departments are responsible for building maintenance and operations, for new construction, and at some locations for biomedical equipment and occupational health and safety. Chief engineers, facility managers, and selected other employees are invited to join the Chief Engineers Mail Group, an email listserv where members can post and respond to questions about managing VA facilities. A listserv allows individuals to send email messages to an entire mailing list. Recipients can then reply to the entire group or to only the sender. The Chief Engineers Mail Group fits the description for what has come to be known as a community of practice. A community of practice allows practitioners to come together to share and build knowledge about their shared domain. Wenger, McDermott, and Snyder describe communities of practice as being made up of domain, community, and practice. A group comes together to interact as a community and to develop their practice in a shared domain. Looking more closely at the characteristics of a community of practice, Etienne Wenger has identified 5 constructs: joint enterprise, mutual engagement, shared repertoire, community, and learning or identity acquisition. Enrique Murillo has shown that these same constructs can also be present in a fully online community of practice. Ryan Felber, former Director of Facilities and Engineering at the Wilmington VA Medical Center, is going to help us see how each of Wenger's 5 constructs of a community of practice is present in the Chief Engineers Mail Group. Joint enterprise means that community members come together to focus on a particular domain. The purpose and focus of the Chief Engineers Mail Group is interaction related to engineering concerns at VA facilities. Ryan Felber describes the characteristics that members of the Mail Group share.
The members of the Mail Group are chief engineers, assistant chief engineers, capital asset managers, and engineers for the national program. They're all program managers in facilities and engineering at either the local, regional, or national level.
Mutual engagement means that individuals work together to solve problems, produce artifacts, and discuss issues related to their practice. Ryan Felber gives an example of this taking place in the Chief Engineers Mail Group.
One topic discussed in the Mail Group was documentation practices for testing fire detection and suppression systems. This documentation is important for accreditation purposes. It's important to organize the documentation in a way that is easily reviewable by surveyors. One poster brought up this issue, and responses came from across the country offering suggestions.
Shared repertoire refers to the resources developed and collected by the group. These are the artifacts that are produced and shared during the process of mutual engagement. This body of knowledge is beneficial to current and future members of the group. Ryan Felber describes how group memory of past issues and solutions helps solve problems.
The Joint Commission is an accreditation body that evaluates hospitals to determine if they meet minimum standards. To satisfy one of the Joint Commission requirements, each hospital needs a good way to document fire detection and suppression testing. People who had recently been through Joint Commission surveys were able to share best practices.
The members of a community of practice form interpersonal relationships with one another. Though they may not be friends, their sustained interaction leads to them knowing one another on a personal level. Ryan Felber describes how relationships are maintained through the Chief Engineers Mail Group.
People who don't necessarily see each other frequently still communicate through the Mail Group. That provides an avenue to keep a relationship going.
Participating in a community of practice affects the individual members by helping them learn and develop their identities as practitioners and community members. Ryan Felber explains what it was like to join the community of the Chief Engineers Mail Group.
When I became the chief engineer, even though I'd been in the VA for 5 or 6 years, there were challenges that I was unfamiliar with, and having the mail group as a resource provided information and support in dealing with these situations.
The Chief Engineers Mail Group is consistent with the connectivist view of knowledge and learning. George Siemens argues that in today's world, people often have to act without complete knowledge and instead rely on networks to fill in the blanks. In the management of a large facility, problems are bound to come up that local employees do not have solutions for. Using the network of the mail group, solutions can be found or developed more efficiently. The Chief Engineers Mail Group functions successfully as a community of practice, but it also faces some challenges. One challenge is managing communications. The listserv format means that initial communication about an issue often goes to all members of the group. Respondents then have to decide if they will respond to the whole group or only to the person asking the question. Sometimes members of the group find themselves receiving multiple emails about an issue that does not interest them. Because these managers receive so many emails daily, the group may want to consider alternate platforms that do not overwhelm members with email messages. Another challenge is finding the right level of focus. Members of the group sometimes send out joking messages, and while some might appreciate this for community building, others find it distracting. Looking forward, the group might consider a way to sort communications by type, creating a special location for less serious communications. A third challenge is disseminating information. A person posing a question sometimes asks for responses to be sent only to him or her. That person then collects the responses and can share them with those who express interest. A systematic process for this information sharing would benefit the group. Moving the group to an online forum could make it easier to share responses and solutions. Overall, while the listserv format has served the community well for some time, some of the challenges the group faces might be addressed by exploring alternative platforms. Wenger, McDermott, and Snyder have used the analogy of a growing plant for a community of practice, saying that careful cultivation will result in the strongest community. In the Chief Engineers Mail Group, we see a community of practice that is working, but that must be monitored and nurtured so that it can continue to live and grow. Individuals should be identified to lead this effort so that the group can adapt to the changing needs of the community and the available technology. The resources referenced in this presentation are good sources of information on communities of practice, connectivism, and the Department of Veterans Affairs. All illustrations in the presentation are from the website openclipart.org.